week. We're just going to cover really fast how to run a Pearson correlation in SPSS. First, you always have to have a hypothesis first before you begin to look at data. Remember, if you don't have a hypothesis first, you're just going to start running analysis and different models on data, and you have no idea what you're trying to look for or answer. So always begin with a hypothesis first. So I'm going to use a hypothesis here, and I'm going to use the two variables of age, and let's do income. So my hypothesis will be age will have a positive relationship with income. And Pearson correlation will help us do that. And what a Pearson correlation actually does, it helps us measure the relationship or the association between two continuous variables. So let's talk about the two types of variables that you're going to be working with throughout this course. A continuous variable is basically any variable that can take a minimum or a maximum value. If it doesn't do that, then it's discrete. And a discrete variable you get discrete variable by counting. So let me just give you a quick example. A discrete variable, you can count the number of students. So I have 11 students in this particular course. Or I can count the amount of marbles in a jar. So that's a good example of discrete variable. A continuous variable, though, we measure, those values are obtained by measuring. So with those same 11 students, a continuous variable will actually measure the height of the students or the weight of the students, or even give you the distance between classrooms for those students. So that's the difference between a continuous and discrete variable. Okay, so a Pearson correlation is the foundation that I would like you all to start with, and just come up with your hypothesis, and then you're going to use your Pearson correlation to do a univariate analysis. And we use it all the time. It is almost the foundation, and it builds the basis for other analysis like regressions, multiple regressions, and even factor analysis. So just make sure you have a hypothesis and then begin to test those hypotheses first before you begin to just start running random models in SPSS, and you'll get confused or you'll go down a different path that you don't even have a hypothesis for. You're just looking at data, just exploring data, trying to figure out, well, what's the data even trying to tell you, okay? All right, so just remember Pearson correlation is just one method that we use to measure the association or the relationship between two variables. And Pearson correlation will score those on an interval or ratio level, okay? So we're looking at the age and income, and I think that as age increases, the income may increase. I don't know, this will be interesting. Let's test it out and let's see. So I'm gonna click on Analyze, and then we're gonna go to Correlate and bivariate. As you can see, I've already had this in here, so I'm gonna take it back out and just show you how to do it, okay? So like I said, we're looking at age, and as you can see here, age is in years, okay? And we're gonna look at household income or income. And if I put my cursor over it, you will see that my income is gonna be in the thousands, right? And then make sure that Pearson is actually checked. You have two other correlation tests you can run, but we will cover those later if need be. And make sure you have two-tail actually selected. And then down here where it says flag significant correlations, I'm gonna leave that checked. I only have 100 samples, so I really wouldn't need that with such a small sample size, but for you all, leave it checked, and when we run the analysis, I'm gonna actually show you what it's gonna do for you, okay? If I click up here on options, it just gives me other options I can use, but we really don't need that right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cancel out. And then I'm gonna click OK. Let's see exactly what it says, okay? So let's start at the top. As you can see here, we have your variables, and my variable was age and income. So I just want to make sure that this syntax is correct, okay? And now we come down here and we have age in years and the Pearson correlation. Now this will always be 1 because age in years is pairing up with age in years in this particular column. But household income in the thousands. Here, it actually lets us know that it is a 0.552. And remember when I said leave at the bottom of that other pop-up box, leave where it says flag, significant correlations? These two asterisks here lets me know that if I come down here, the correlation is significant at a 0.01 level on the two-tail test. So this is very significant at 0.552, which is what we need to look for to know that there is a significant positive correlation. And how do we know it's significant? Well, the next row down here lets us know that it is significant at 0.001. So we do have a significant correlation between age and income. Right? If we go down here, we just switched our variables up where we use household income. And the reason why this is 1 is because they're using this particular row to let us know that household income and household income, that's why it's 1. But household income and age in years is 0.552. So as you can see here, these just repeat each other, okay? And then my N is my sample size, so I let you all know I had 100. So age in years is 100, and household income in the thousands is both 100, and the sample size down here is both 100. So we do have a significant correlation between age and years. So that's how you run a Pearson correlation test in SPSS. Now that we know there's a significant positive correlation, I'm going to move over to the next video to show you how to run a linear regression to let us know exactly what's the association, and as age increases, how much does income increase? And that's the purpose of running a linear regression.